Here are 4 Liverpool fans. They've been putting a room together to see if all Liverpool fans think the same. I'm going to read out a statement like this. Salah will leave Liverpool this summer. And then the Liverpool fans move left or right depending on whether they strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. More on that later. But if you enjoy this, let me know what team I should do next.
So I think the new manager won't want to make too many wholesale changes. However, in the back of my mind, why I'm not in strongly disagree, it's because Michael Edwards is back and might look at his data and go, he's on the decline potentially, we'll cash in on him now, and then we'll get someone else in now. So for me, Klopp is a person that sells a player a season too late. Edwards usually sells someone a season early, which is annoying, but then in the long run works out. But at the same time, I don't know where Salah goes because I don't think he wants to go Saudi yet. Real Madrid is the only team off the top of my mind that I can think of that he might go to, but it doesn't seem to have that want or will or desire to go there. So I think
it with Rodrigo.
Could do. I think Salah's too narcissistic to leave the Premier League at this point.
Wow.
I hear that.
Honestly, and by the way, and that's not a diss. I think to be the best, you need to be a narcissist in football. You have to be like that, unless you're Lionel Messi. And I think even secretly Lionel Messi is a narcissist. I think he's just PR's really good. Like, generally,
we never hear him speak. I don't know what he sounds like.
Exactly. So we don't even know realistically. But as much as, listen, Salah's one of my favorite players, and he always will be. I just feel like the way he is in terms of always wanting to be the main man. Listen, if Salah could get on the end of his own pass, he would. Yeah. He wants to play Champions League football at the highest level and break the records and be the man he's the guy's guy. He's that guy. So if he's going to be that guy, what's he going to do? Go over to Saudi and say I scored more goals than Sadio Mane?
Do you not think that the announcement of Klopp leaving has changed
That's the only reason I'm not strongly.
Yeah, that could have wobbled. That could be a wobble.
Yeah, because I think one grey area that you have with Salah, which doesn't apply to him, but at his age, where you think, okay, they're going to start slowing down. He's not slowing down. He's still putting another Player of the Year worthy season for us. I can't see him going anywhere to another top club right now because I think everything's there for him with us. He's got nothing else to prove at the top level per se. Like if he wins, say goes to Madrid and wins a Liga hypothetically, that doesn't really add much to his legacy, I don't think. So yeah, the only grey area is the manager for me, so that's why I'm not on strongly. But yeah, I definitely see him staying next year.
I can't lie, especially what you said about, I don't think he's ready to go to Saudi. I think it's more, there's so much uncertainty around the club. Obviously you said the thing about Michael Edwards, but he's actually taken a role where it's more like overseeing that 2-club model at Liverpool and whoever they're going to sign. Someone's saying it might be Toulouse. But it's like, I think a player like Salah now, obviously he's 31, like you've been saying, he wants them accolades now. He's not going to join he doesn't want to be part of another project. Obviously, I hope he stays, and I think there's a very high likelihood he could. I'm here because I think the uncertainty around the club, I think it's being overshadowed by this Klopp farewell tour, us pushing for multiple trophies. And I think that's where it's like, okay, let's just put that to the back of our mind. Even the other day, there was that video of Van Dijk suggesting that players might be leaving. He sort of hesitated and then pulled back on it. I think, who jumps out at you when you hear that? You think Salah.
Listen, what are you going to do? Like compete with Benzema on his 6 goals or whatever goals he's on? I don't know, man. Stay at Liverpool, man. He's staying.
Salah may not want to look for a new adventure, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't. Thanks to HelloFresh, you can unlock over 100 new and exciting recipes every month to bring more adventure to your dinner plate, like this Szechuan glazed duck breast donburi that I'll be tucking into. Now, Amy's the usual cook of the house, but I'm stepping out my comfort zone and cooking today's meal. Less time meal planning and have ingredients delivered straight to your door means you don't have to worry about missing kickoff and instead tuck into a lovely pre-match meal. Nothing beats the sound of sizzling meat.
Oh, yeah.
Let's dive in. A delight to the senses. I must say, I think I've done a good job. But I shouldn't be the only one to enjoy these sort of meals. You should too. And that is why over here on the Achillea channel, we've got an exclusive offer for you guys. If you use the code HALLOG60 or click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screens right now, you can get 60% off your first box plus 20% off for the next 2 months. And it doesn't stop there. You'll also get free desserts for life. Now, if that's not a code worth taking up, I don't know what is. So just check out the link in the description below. I'm going to tuck into the rest of this and enjoy my meal, and we're going to get back to the Liverpool fans.
Klopp has a better Premier League legacy than Pep.
George!
I don't know if I had storage to do it.
To me, he has, but to the casuals, which I'm assuming the question's aimed to, I think a lot of people are going to say Pep's going to go higher regarded. And can you really blame them? No, but yeah. It is
Why would you, in your own opinion, why do you think Klopp would have?
When you talk about the top end of the Premier League, I think it's fair to say, as much as we hate to admit it, we've been fairly irrelevant before he came. He came to the very top.
True. Yeah, it's true.
Now, apart from maybe 2 years since he's taken us to that level, we're always in the conversation. We've competed for about, I think, 4 or 5 league titles since he's been here. Champions League as well. We were not that good before he came, and now we're one of the best in the country. And for me, that puts him above Pep, which is basically as good as he is. It's a role where he's doing what I think most people would be expecting of him when he came in the first place.
Are you saying because of stuff like Pellegrini, Mancini and guys like that have already won?
Yeah, so
because they've done it.
They done it. They were expected to do it, and Pep, like, credit to him, he's taken it to a completely another level. But he's still doing what he's meant to be doing. Klopp, if you look to Liverpool when Klopp came and told everybody this is what Liverpool are going to be by the time he's done, not everybody would say, yeah, I can see that happening.
Can I wait until the charges are dropped?
Can I want to double down on what you said though, about obviously if we're talking about who's the better manager, I think it was Klopp's better. I'll be over there. But in terms of legacy is just this like theoretical thing we're going to talk about, where how people remember them, how people hold them in their sort of own personal feelings and memories. Pep's going to have more because he's got, what, like, is it 5 Premier Leagues, 6 Premier Leagues, like something stupid. If it was who I think's a better manager, I would be over there for Klopp. But I think in terms of legacy, we just can't really argue with what they're creating, exactly. Even if there is 115 charges. Like, I hate the fact that we have to like debate our manager against this guy who, you know, this shampoo salesman who's cheating his way to like to success. But he's in, no, but let's not lie, he's in the Fergie conversation. If it was Klopp legacy versus Arsene Wenger and Mourinho, I think Klopp's legacy outdoes theirs, so to speak. I think that he falls into that sort of category between the top 2 and the next 2.
I think it just depends how you look at legacy. I think when it comes down to legacy, no one cares about context, unfortunately. Why I said, unless the charges are not allegations. So it's not the allegations, I'm going to be back here. It's a thing where legacy, context doesn't really matter that much. So therefore, it's going to come down to who has the most Premier Leagues and who's done it in a short amount of time. And you have to look at Pep and go, listen, 5 or 6 Premier Leagues is insane. It's insanity. And if this guy goes on 4, he's 3-peat and treble. And we're talking that, you remember the question you asked, you didn't ask.
It'll be a 4-peat.
It could be a 4-peat, yeah.
It won't be a 4-peat.
You didn't ask the overall package, so including the Champions League. You said Premier League legacy. Klopp has been here for 9 years and won 1 Premier League. Yes, we didn't compete until he needed 3 years to compete. But at the same time, you can't argue with 5, 6 Premier Leagues.
And Pep's not leaving yet either.
This feels for me like when I've got to tell my little ones that Santa's not real. It pains me to have this conversation. I don't like Pep, the guy, but I have the utmost respect for him as a manager. And the reason I do is because last season changed my view on how things are between Klopp and Pep. Last season, Klopp really struggled because he didn't adapt. I remember that season during the pandemic, they played Gundogan as a false 9 and they walked the Premier League. I don't think things like that can be overlooked. Centurions, crazy. We did 99 points? They've done 100. We've been in title races where they could not afford a mistake and they didn't make a mistake. Pep's insanity and obsession with winning is crazy. And I repeat, if you ask me who I choose as a manager, I'm always picking Klopp. But in terms of legacy, when I look at how Pep's reinvented that City team about 3 times, he's lost big players. He's lost Sane, Mahrez, Gundogan, and he doesn't let up. Sterling, he doesn't let up. He always elevates his team. Look, if the charges come to fruition and they're found guilty,
then we're
all over there. But as of right now, you've got to give him his dues, man. And I'll be honest, this is going to go down really bad. Right now, Klopp's number 5 in Prem legacy for me.
No.
So I said it.
No. You ruined it. I was like, he's spoken so well.
He's not ruined it.
It's a stupid statement.
It can't be done.
Maybe after this year, it can go off a little bit.
If and when he wins it this season,
just said Christmas has a rule.
It's like a completely different combo. But as of right now, it's Fergie, it's Pep, it's Mourinho, and Wenger sits above him at the moment in Prem legacy.
Man U v Liverpool is a bigger rivalry for you guys than the Merseyside derby.
Oh, it's a strong one. Yeah.
Keep it getting the sides.
Yeah.
You could probably guess where we're from.
You know what? Yeah.
Wait, I have to say this here quickly. Guys, I live in London. It's very difficult to get, Scouse fans, especially this time. So maybe if this gets 5,000 likes, I'll go up there and we'll film with some more fans.
I'm from South London. Everyone's a Peckham Red. Like everyone's a Man United fan or Arsenal fan, and it's like my hatred just. You don't like. I see Man United concede the 4-3 the other day. I was celebrating like Liverpool scored. I was treating like Liverpool scored. Don't get me wrong. I feel very similar when we play Everton Merseyside derby. But I feel like as well in the city, it's a very united city. I think you can find people in Liverpool that feel the same way about the Liverpool Manchester derby as well, or Manchester Liverpool game. Like it's still like filled with hatred. Manx versus Scousers. It's not just like obviously everyone hates Everton, but it's not the same. I feel like. I might sound very ignorant here, I might sound very naive, like, London, Liverpool fan, whatever, but that's how I feel about it.
I look at it like this. So, Man United historically are they're the biggest team, but historically they're the second most successful team. Historically, we're the most successful team. We're separated by a few miles. Plus, we're always competing for stuff. And again, no disrespect to Evertonians, I know this is going to go and sound bad, but we've never really rivaled them in my lifetime where I can sit there and go, there's a real rivalry there. Like
That's not disrespect, that's just the truth.
Yeah, well,
listen, guys, he'll be nice about it. Listen, I'm not going to be nice about it.
I value my life, innit? Like,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Listen, Evertonians, it is what it is.
Yeah, like
in my lifetime, I've not seen no rivalry. If anything, I'm looking at the bottom of the table. And it's like, well, it's always a question of are these guys going to get relegated or not? Are we going to have a rival? Are we going to have our derby in the Premier League next year? I can never confirm that 100%. So how can you be 100% main rival if we're not competing? And that's not to say you have to compete with the team that you're rivaling. Obviously, you've got other derbies where a team will be in the Premier League and in the Championship. I think who's...
You've got Newcastle.
Newcastle and Sunderland, obviously, because when Newcastle, since they've been back in the Premier League, when are they ever going to play Sunderland?
Like everyone hates Man United. For me, for Liverpool fans, it's deeper than that. It's a rivalry of history. The city rivalry as well. It's not just the clubs. The cities hate each other. They've got music. They've got like the docks or whatever. Like it goes like years back, hundreds, centuries back, whatever. I still feel the hatred towards Everton, just not to the same extent.
Who'd rather win the league? Everton or United?
Everton. I can't
you went too far with that one.
It's a hard question. If a hard question, but if you had to answer the question, I'm going to say Everton, bro.
I would steer to Everton only because I've seen Man United win it so many times. I can live with Everton winning it.
That's my point. It's deep-rooted childhood hate.
I can't see United win it.
Man, they took our lunch money.
Yeah.
And I've only started getting my lunch money back since 2017.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question then, because we did the London rivals sort of rank each other and like do they think the same. And we did a question about North versus South derbies. Now, I want to know from your guys' opinion, well, one, what do you think better, the North or the South? And then two, is the North London derby better than, say, Liverpool Man United or Liverpool Everton? Because it was heavily North London derby.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the NLD derby is a mazza.
Yeah.
Like year in, year out. But I will say, the only thing I'll say about this is a really backhanded compliment, yeah. Arsenal and Tottenham, you see the gap between Arsenal and Tottenham. Obviously Arsenal are always the superior, But like, it's always like, oh, like listen.
I'm waiting for the compliment.
Listen.
It feels like a backhand at the moment.
Like, hear me out. It will be like Tottenham are like 5th and Arsenal are like 3rd. Do you know what I mean? It like from when I've seen it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a 4th or 5th place gap. I genuinely think Liverpool and United is either Liverpool are cold and United are cheeks, or again Liverpool are buns and United are winning Premier Leagues. There's no in between. There's never one where Man United are 4th and Liverpool are 3rd. Maybe you could say last season.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably, yeah. 08, 09. But that's 2 seasons in 20 years.
Yeah.
They're either winning Premier Leagues and we're winning nothing, or they're winning, or we're winning European Cups and spreading out our trophies, and they're winning odds Europa League, maybe a Carabao Cup.
Liverpool's atmosphere is overrated.
What?
Can I go any further than this?
Completely off screen. I see that look.
Choose wise. What you
I
did?
see the look in this.
Hear me out, boys. I know I'm getting rushed, so I might as well just go all the way now, innit? We have peaked with our atmosphere. So when I remember being at the Crystal Palace game where Klopp called out the fans because a lot of fans left early. From that moment up until when we won the league and maybe the season where we were chasing the quad, that was when we peaked. I think as a fan base, myself included, I think we've become spoiled and we've taken it for granted how good our team plays. So when we go to games as fans, a lot of the times we're actually quite quiet because we have an expectation that we're going to win. There are the occasions where your Barcelona's come to town, your Man City's come to town, your Man United's come to town, and everyone is ferocious. But on the whole, throughout most of the season, we're quite timid and quite quiet as a fan base because our team does the business on the pitch.
I almost stepped across just then, but then I remembered how bad we were last year and how good the crowd were at many points of last season. I think even, to be fair, and there were times last season where we needed more of an atmosphere, certain games that we've all been to. But what I'd say is that I think the Arsenal game, for example, probably goes...
I'm just thinking my career's in the mud now.
I'm saying,
I've got kids to feed.
It's like the Arsenal game comes to mind, which supports your point where we weren't doing well, and it took Granit Xhaka to do something to wake the crowd up. When really, I get what you're saying. It shouldn't take a Granit Xhaka bust up to wake the
But
crowd
I
up.
ask a question: if Granit Xhaka doesn't bust up with Trent, does the crowd still have that reaction?
I guess we'll never know.
I think they rile themselves up at some point anyway. The reason that I didn't go there was because I thought that one argument that they have with Liverpool fans is when it's like, say, your 3 p.m. kickoff against, say, like a Brighton at home on a 3 p.m. Saturday, it's not that loud. But to be honest, you're going to get games like that over a season. Not every club is perfect where you're going to have a Barcelona 4-0 kind of atmosphere every single game. And I've just seen too many times that Liverpool fans absolutely turn the game around by themselves. Like I was at the Carabao Cup final this year when we were doing LA in the last 5 minutes of extra time when Van Dijk scored. Who else is doing that, man?
I hear you, but when I say the word overrated, we consider ourselves to have the best atmosphere in the world. I don't think we do at the moment. I look at teams like Borussia Dortmund, for example, and the Wall, that atmosphere is crazy. Turkey, their atmospheres over there are crazy.
But they're only, you keep Turkey. We only see the Fenerbahce, Galatasaray game, the big games. You see when Galatasaray play against bottom of the league, they're not selling out the stadium. There's not fireworks going off in the ground.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I think you're outside of your mind. Okay, maybe not the best atmosphere in the league, in the world. Sorry, I can understand Dortmund shouts, but I think it's become fun to sort of in this sort of Twitter age, social media age, to sort of wind up football fans. Go, oh, it's a rubbish atmosphere. But you've seen even against Sheffield United, the crowd was bouncing. It's loud. I understand it's Klopp's farewell tour.
Right, let me ask you then. And I even hate comparing them to this team. Over the last season and this season, who's had a better atmosphere overall, Arsenal or Liverpool?
Arsenal is just so overrated, I swear to God.
I hate to say it's kind of not been though.
I've been there. It's not.
I've been to Anfield as well.
They have that beautiful little North London, whatever.
No, there's
little
songs and
Anfield at the
everything.
start. It's a little bit forced. There's a little bit
our songs and
artificial.
everything are better. But last season, the Fulham game last season where they're at the Emirates, they went a goal down and their fans were singing, cheering.
And then watch as soon as they capitulated. You're talking about when we got behind. As soon as they capitulated in the league, you could see empty seats before full time against Southampton.
Do you know what it is? I think also there's there's a grey area between Liverpool having an amazing atmosphere, or the best atmosphere, and Liverpool generally being the best team at home.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I'm
saying. I'm just saying there's a grey line in between both. I still think we have the best atmosphere, which is why I'm here, because I think we do have the best atmosphere. But I think having the best home record, or arguably the best home record, I'm not sure how close City's is at this moment, along with ours.
If it's us and City,
Arsenal have only been loud since they've been winning. When they were crap under Emery, even before, like after that, in the struggle years of Arteta, they weren't loud. Then you look at.
Well, they were loud but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly. It's hateful. That's not a good atmosphere.
Jordan Henderson was a better captain than Stevie G.
Oh, that's agreed, by the way.
Disagree.
Disagrees that way. Agrees over there.
I'll come out the camera. Mons, don't do this. What are we doing, man?
What? I'm walking. Can't I walk? Look at that. Stop doing that. Look.
Calm down.
Wait, hold on.
I'm still in disagree.
I need specifics. Premier League legacy only. Champions
I
League.
said he's a better captain
Specifics, bro.
than Stevie G.
He was better at playing to his strengths than what he had to do to be a captain. I'm gonna leave it at that. He played to his strengths.
He won a lot more than Stevie G did as captain.
As I said,
Led them to more trophies.
Wait, say this. Can you ask us one more time?
What are you doing?
Jordan Henderson,
Hold on, one more time.
Jordan Henderson is a better captain than Stevie G.
No.
I'm in
If you
disagreement.
worded that slightly differently, I'm just saying, like, Jordan Henderson had a better Premier League legacy than Steven Gerrard.
Led them to more trophies.
I understand that argument.
better team.
That's why I've stood here, because under him, so people underplay maybe what Henderson's success to Liverpool was. He's a very sacrificial player in the side. You've just been talking about Trent flying, who covered Henderson. Trent was so pivotal in our success. You had Henderson covering.
I'm gonna let you land. I'll let you land.
Can you just? I'm still disagree. Can we just calm down a little bit? Like I'm still here. I want to give Henderson his flowers. I feel like maybe, especially since we've seen McAllister come in, people sort of began to go, "Oh, Henderson was shit." He wasn't shit. What he did was very important to how Liverpool played, especially in that time under Klopp. The team evolved. We didn't need Henderson anymore. Last year, he looked a bit leggy. He didn't look as good. That's why I think maybe his legacy has sort of been tainted.
And as like what Cal said, the number one word you want to use, mentality, and wanting, like, sometimes not. Do you know how many players are willing to do what he done? Not a lot.
And in COVID as well, you could hear the impact he had on that team, just barking 24/7. Like you could hear it. And I'm in disagree. Gerrard dragged Liverpool through like the dark ages.
Yeah.
Like you're obviously talking off camera about West Ham final, your first sort of tears. That's what he did to guys. He was a miles better footballer than Jordan Henderson. He was a miles better footballer than maybe any midfielder you could say. But I think just to give Henderson his flowers, that's why I'm standing
He also
here.
slipped in the most important moment
But
of the...
George, bro.
Great.
Hold on.
That's not Gerrard's rubbish because he slipped. It's a little slip.
No, the thing is,
I've slipped.
Listen, John
Yeah, but
Terry.
it was
John Terry slipped.
just as a
No one
captain,
speaks
though.
about that, guys. John Terry slipped,
because
and
he went
no
and
one
done it
speaks about
afterwards.
it.
But just as a captain, it was his speech where he said, "Let's not throw this," and he was the one that.
Yeah, great. It's a Twitter thing.
That's what
If
I'm
that
saying.
happened
That's what I'm saying.
20 years before, no one would talk about it. They'd be like, Steven Gerrard is a great player, unlucky. They talk about him. Oh God, I don't want to think about it. That was
I'll keep it. Listen, I don't want to use this as a thing to slate Gerrard to upplay Henderson or to slate Henderson to upsell Gerrard. At the end of the day, people have preferences with captains, and Steven Gerrard for me was the type of captain who led by example. He was loud as well. I don't think that this whole notion that he didn't shout or anything like that, but he did. Maybe not as loud as Henderson, but he did shout and scream at times. But I think he more left that to Jamie. It has more significance as maybe it was my childhood, innit? And I think maybe Liverpool fans slightly younger than us will probably lean towards that Henderson side. Again, he's not just, we're all.
I was going to ask that. Respectfully, I was going to ask that. I believe you guys are all younger than me.
You're a bit aged, yeah. I was just thinking, you chill a little bit more than the rest of us.
Wow, he just called you weathered. That's crazy.
But the argument,
that's
the argument, I understand it could be an age thing, but also the argument isn't who was the better player. I think when people hear who's the better captain, people automatically go, who was the better
Not
player?
me, I don't.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes being a captain is also about leading the team. And I know, but it's also not easy to lead a winning team, to lead. Because Henderson still had to be at a level. If he wasn't good enough, he wouldn't be in the team.
Can I just...
Like, he's not a scrub.
I believe what I'm going to say now is going to kill the argument. And I'll caveat this by saying I think Henderson is a phenomenally underrated captain, not just inside of Liverpool fan base,
just
but
like Gerrard.
outside of it as well. If you put Gerrard in this team, or the team that Henderson led, would he have led the team to win stuff.
Obviously, but not in the same way. Okay, so you hear about.
Hold on, let me land. He would have. That was your answer, was yes, yeah? If you put Henderson in any of those Gerrard teams, would he have led Liverpool to win anything?
He wouldn't have. But remember, they played in the same team, obviously. So obviously,
We also did see Henderson as captain prior to us getting your Van Dijks, your Alisson Beckers, your Fabinhos, world-class players. How many world-class players? We could probably count the number of world-class players Gerrard played with in his Liverpool career. We could probably have more for Jordan Henderson in his time under just Klopp. So, again, Henderson, phenomenal captain. The second best captain I've seen in my lifetime for Liverpool. But Gerrard, you have to understand, without Gerrard, there is no Liverpool today.
How many captains you seen in your lifetime? What's the span I'm talking? What's the span?
You know, if I'm going to be real, it's so Redknapp was
Crazy.
the first. Yeah.
It's baggy kit era.
Yeah.
Baggy.
I've got a couple of them at home.
Thank you very much. That was class.